Hi, my name is Khristopher Benford, and this is my response to CAA number 1 for EDTP 4302. For this assignment for CAA 1, we had to come up with, we had to choose a question from a pre-release STAR test of 2021, and I chose question 3. And it reads, an elementary school had 90 boxes of glue sticks. Each box had 36 glue sticks. Teachers put all of the glue sticks into bags to give to students. They put 6 glue sticks into each bag. Which equation can be used to find B, the number of bags the teachers can fill with these glue sticks? We're going to get into the depth of this question on the next slide, but I do want to say that the correct answer choice is A, because you have 90 times 36 divided by 6 equals B. So you're finding in terms of B, this is the correct equation. So, to get into the meat of this, first question is asking, what cultural backgrounds or knowledge does this question assume? Taking it from the ELPS, the reading portion of the ELPS, I believe this question falls under intermediate level, and it says that intermediate L's can read and understand simple, high-frequency English used in routine academic and social contexts. And so I believe you need to at least have an intermediate understanding of the English language to answer this question correctly. Taking context from our textbook, it says they have a growing understanding of basic English language structures, and this is talking about intermediate L's, and can understand simple sentence and short connected text. However, they still may struggle to independently read and understand grade level text. And that's Echevarria on page 233. And so moving on to question 2, it says, what might be difficult linguistically about this question for emergent bilinguals? And so I just chose 4 things that does make the question hard. So it would be vocabulary, mathematical terminology, sentence structure, and cultural context. And so to break down vocabulary, the question assumes familiarity with words such as glue sticks, boxes, and bags, and mathematical terms like multiplication and division. EBs who are still building English vocabulary may struggle with understanding these specific terms, especially if they have not encountered them before in their English language learning, or if they don't encounter them frequently. So it kind of ties into mathematical terminology, which the question uses mathematical terms like multiply and divide. EBs who are not fully proficient in English might find it challenging to understand the specific mathematical operations that's being asked to use, and that's being described to find the relationship between them. So if an EB student sees multiply, they might not think multiple of, or if they see divide, they're not going to think of split this up. They probably have not made that connection yet. And then moving on to sentence structure, the question contains a complex sentence structure, including equations and mathematical expressions. EBs who are at beginning or intermediate stages of English proficiency may find it difficult to understand the sentence structure, which can impact their comprehension of the question. So it would be, part of the example would be, like, oh, I have 90 boxes, that means I have 90 glue sticks. But that's not correct, because then they have to know that there's 36 glue sticks in each box. So then you have to multiply 90 times 36, and then you have to divide it by 6 because the teacher wants to split it up into 6 into each one bag. So it's just a sentence structure that is wordy that can kind of throw off the students. And lastly, the cultural context. The question assumes some cultural background knowledge related to school supplies is known, like the word glue sticks and like bags. They assume that these students know that those words. EBs from different backgrounds or educational systems may have varying levels of familiarity with these school items, which can create an additional challenge in understanding the context of applying their knowledge to the question. And I put answer to question 3 on the next slide because I couldn't fit it on this slide. But for question 4, it does say, how do you think you can prepare students for standardized questions? And I chose 2 things from our textbook that will help me to prepare students for standardized questions. The first one would be a vocabulary journal. This gives the students the opportunity to take notes and use the vocabulary words and write it down in the journal and describe them so that way they can make the connection. So multiply and divide, they would write it down, maybe draw a picture if it helps them, so that way that they know that this is going to be multiples of another number, or A is going to be multiples of B. So that way they know that in the action that these two are not being added, but they're being multiplied. Same thing for divide. They could put it in their journal and they'll know, okay, I need to split this by this number. I need to split A by B. So that gives me the opportunity. This is something that we do practice in our 7th grade math class for our emerging bilinguals, and I think it's very successful because we have seen scores jump when they're able to conceptualize and draw a picture of what they see. The next thing that I would do is games, which is also described on page 236 of our textbook, because it keeps our students engaged, so that way they can feel more into the material and they'll retain the information better. Because if they're not engaged in the material, they're not going to retain it. And I want to go ahead and answer question number 3, which states, how would you revise the question to ensure cultural relevance and avoid linguistic ambiguity? So my revised question to make sure that I cut out linguistic ambiguity would be, write an equation to make this statement true. The school had 90 boxes of glue, with each box containing 36 glue sticks. The teachers plan to put 6 glue sticks into each bag. How many bags would they be able to fill with the glue sticks? I believe this would be a much more modified question for an intermediate or beginner EB. So that way they can understand, like, I have 90 boxes and I need to multiply it by 36 because there's 36 glue sticks in each box. But I also at the end want to divide it by 6. And so that gives EBs the option to understand, and it gives them an easier way to draw the picture, because you'll see on their STAR test, they'll draw a picture to help them understand. And so that will be my revised question to answer question 3. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is my reference page for CAA number 1, and have a great day.